Learning to listen, listening to learn, improving Spanish comprehension is an exciting way to improve listening comprehension skills and also to enhance cultural awareness. We realize that even with the resources available on the internet, it is difficult for learners and teachers to become engaged in visual or auditory texts. We provide language learners the opportunity to come in contact with many different accents that are present in the Spanish-speaking world. In our listening series, learners are exposed to monologues on familiar topics that highlight regions and customs. We use natural speech. We know that because of redundancy in natural language, authentic speech samples are easier to comprehend than those written for student consumption only. Language learners who listen to unedited, authentic passages not only increase their comprehension skills, but also improve their oral and written language performance. Although we spend almost 50% of our time listening, less than 5% of classroom time is typically devoted to systematically teaching and developing listening skills. Students will not become better listeners without guided practice. Our approach is one that has been proven to be pedagogically appropriate and also one that is mirrored in most of the language learning textbooks by nationally recognized publishers. We present listening in a 4-step plan: previewing, viewing, post-viewing, cultural extension. This is an example of a previewing activity. Any given text does not carry meaning in and of itself. Rather, it provides direction for listeners so that they can construct meaning from their own previously acquired background knowledge. This previewing activity helps learners reflect upon what they already know based upon their own personal experiences. In the previewing section, in El Video, we introduce learners to native informants and the overall theme of the video. We know that vocabulary, rather than grammar, contributes to breakdown of comprehension. We have selected words and phrases we believe that beginners may not be familiar with and have provided as time cues so that they will be able to recognize the key terms as they listen. The viewing activity presents learners with a 2-stage guided approach to listening. Comprehension checks assess whether listeners have understood the listening passage and are able to recall the information. They are tasks that match the level of the learner's ability and follow a logical progression from the pre-listening and listening stages. These comprehension checks for beginners include multiple choice, true-false questions requiring single word or short answers with automatic feedback. This example of the first stage activity focuses on the main idea of the monologue. The second stage focuses on listening for specific details or information. Learners are required to listen again and identify specific details. In future segments, we ask learners to identify, describe, retell, or summarize the main points with a discussion feature. The post-viewing activity enables learners to explore and express their opinions about the target language culture. Listening is a social process. Both listening and speaking are integral parts of oral communication. The extension activity encourages interaction among learners to practice real-world skills. These learner-to-learner questions and comments are monitored by an instructor.